Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and hopefully it will be a day of love, friendship, and great relationships. Happy Valentine's Day to all, and make sure the microphone is not buried underneath the coat. Anyway, how you doing, folks? It's the Steve Comic Express, and this is what we do. And it is a cold one. It's 25 degrees. I'll be glad when I start seeing 70, 80, 95. Those are the temperatures I most enjoy, folks. And Artistry by Steve has knocked it out of the park for this Valentine's Day. Thank you for all who purchased some Valentine's art from me. And now we move on to St. Patrick's Day, folks. And Monday is President's Day. And used to be Washington's Day or whatever, but he's a Republican and we can't have that, right? So they turned it into President's Day. And as far as I'm concerned, the only presidents of this country were Republicans, not Democrats. Democrats, as far as I'm concerned, were obstructionists. There were agitators. There were activists. There were haters. And they did nothing but try to destroy America from its onset. So for me, folks, President's Day means Republicans only. You don't like it? Good. You hate me? Good. You want to throw me overboard? Good. Please do. If I could piss off 4 people a day, I met my goals. And if I can't, well, then I have to double my efforts, which isn't really very hard to do the next day. So again, Republicans' President's Day is Monday, and we hope you enjoy it, because in my lifetime there were 2 real good presidents, and they were Reagan and Donald Trump. Those are your good presidents. In my lifetime, those were the 2 best, Reagan and Donald Trump. Everybody else sucked, and that includes George H. Bush and George W. Bush. As much as I voted for them, they were like rhinos, and in my opinion, had George W. Bush, he had to do what he had to do thanks to 9/11, unfortunately, and he got us through that. Another president wouldn't have got us through that. And Clinton, by the way, made 9/11 happen. Very simple, folks. He ignored the intelligence bringing to light that one thing that Al-Qaeda was taking up flight lessons. They were using flight simulators and whatnot, and they noticed something strange. They were trying to learn how to fly the plane but not land the plane, because all that flight simulator information is saved. You thought just playing the game was playing the game, but it actually recorded your behavior and what you concentrated on. Microsoft was smart. And that was brought to Bill Clinton's attention. But Bill Clinton was too busy getting service in the Oval Orifice, and therefore, folks, totally ignored or even passed down that information. But then 9/11 happened because a Democrat didn't take care of the situation. And oh, by the way, when a Democrat tells you they are a moderate Democrat, I'm going to ask you, do not believe them. And I'll give you an example. Recently, there was a governor elected, a Democrat, who ran as a moderate. Her name was Abigail Spanberger. Abigail Spanberger. I hope I'm saying her name right. She ran as a moderate, folks. And at the end of the day, what did she do the first minute she got into office? Threw law enforcement under the bus, got rid of ICE, raised taxes, so they're like, if not the second highest tax increase in tax burden on taxpayers in that state. I believe that's Virginia, right? Yeah. Literally and figuratively destroyed everything good, but you people voted for her. Oh, I'm a moderate. There's no such thing as a moderate. Just look at what she's done. Good morning, Dwight. Nice name. But just look what she's done. Oh, I'm a moderate. No, you're not. No such thing as a moderate, folks. None. Because they wouldn't be Democrats. They'd be independents. Independent. Because why would they want to give their party the head count to be a majority? Why do they want to do that? So they could go against all what they campaigned on. They're all a bunch of liars, the Democrats. Don't believe them, not for 1 minute. Not for a single minute do you believe Democrats. No such a thing. Their first order of business, their first sacrament, not only, it's either abortion or just lying to get elected. They're like tied for first. Their first sacrament, I do believe, is to lie to get elected. And second sacrament is to abort children, babies in the womb and out of the womb. Their third sacrament is to cut genitalia off your children to change their, so-called change their sex. Their fourth sacrament is to put trans people in the classroom like a striptease pole dance act out of Provincetown in your children's classrooms to read them, because, you know, that's the way teachers dress up every day anyway, right? No. Many sacraments of the Democrat Party, and that is to defrag the Constitution, is to cheat on elections, is to steal elections, is to open borders, is to watch people get raped by illegal aliens in our country and not say a damn thing about it. With this Guthrie case, even though I still feel it's an inside deal, but wouldn't it be rich if now we've got an illegal alien that was involved in this abduction? Wouldn't that be rich? Oh yeah, I think Miss Guthrie, the daughter Samantha Guthrie, I think she's a liberal. I don't think she has much love for the Republican Party, but I don't wish this on her. I want that mother, that woman to be found alive. I want this to go away. I want it to go away. I want this to, and I hope they catch the perps for this. I hold doubt of her being alive after the first 12, 24 hours. I really, really doubt that. But I want to be wrong. And my prayers go out to her and her family, because I don't wish death upon anybody, even if they're opposite of my opinion. Speaking of opinions, if you watch The View, or better known as The Screw, the bitches on The Screw, or V for JJ, I don't know what the hell you call those bitches. We have Alyssa Farrah Griffin, who's on the panel of losers. When Whoopi and Joy Behar said that America is worse than Iran. Oh yes they did. Oh yes they did. They said America's worse than Iran. Alyssa Farrah Griffin had a moment of random sense and said, we are not as bad as Iran. Whoopi said we are worse. And the whole bunch of bitches on The View all ganged up on Alyssa Farrah Griffin. How dare you? And they went after her because she didn't toe the line of hate. She didn't toe the line of lies. I hope the new CEO of Disney, which I don't think he's officially behind the mahogany desk yet. I know he's in there. I don't know when his duties officially take place. I have to tell you, I hope he takes them off the air. along with Jimmy Kimmel, end their shows. I watched on YouTube, and I would suggest you do likewise, an interview with Michael Eisner, who I've had an influence with when I was more involved with the happiest place on earth. Michael Eisner, he's now 83, God bless him. Since he left Disney in 2005, I think it is, I forgot what it was, or 2007, he has not walked back into the executive building or any of those buildings since he left Disney. And you could see the disappointment on his face. There were several iterations to this deep interview. I will share it with you later. He's very upset with the direction that Disney has taken. Very upset with the expense that Disney burdened the guests that go to that park. He says Disney's way too expensive. It doesn't have to be. I'm very disappointed in that. Very disappointed in the political, and he doesn't really say it, political, but he's very disappointed in the direction it has gone. It lost its family values. He hated Harvey Weinstein. He described him as a truck driver that's a punk, very difficult to get along with. He wanted to get rid of him. And Harvey and a bunch of other liberals wanted Michael Eisner fired. Michael Eisner said that, he took this job and he figured as though if he didn't do a good job, he'd get fired. But he did a great job. He was there for 21 years. He brought animation back to the Magic Kingdom. Snow White saved Walt Disney World. Saved Walt Disney Company. Snow White did. And The Little Mermaid saved Disney. That's right. A lot of influence there too. The Little Mermaid, folks, saved Disney. Michael Eisner did not like the buyout of Pixar. He thought that was way too expensive. He thought that was a bad move on Disney's part. I have to agree with him. But Disney purchased some things, and he said they've made recent bad purchases. And I believe that ABC is going to be restructured. Now, if Michael Eisner was a CEO today, trust me, there would be none of this hate going on, because Michael Eisner didn't believe in that. Didn't believe in it. A very good interview. There was like 4 or 5 broken segments. It would end one, and then the ticker would say, next segment starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then the next one. And it ended with him at his house. He knew that after his bypass surgery back in when he was in the 50s, that he needed another project to do, and he took on this fixer-upper in California. Boy, he did. He fixed it up. He made it look great. He saved the whole area. He saved the whole area, a cliff area. By 83 years old he is, and he was like Walt Disney reached out his hands, like God reached out his hands and made Trump president. Walt Disney reached out his hands and made Michael Eisner president CEO of Walt Disney Company. And he did a damn good job. And since then, it foundered into the abyss deeper than the Titanic. And I'm a Disney lover, folks, so it hurts me to say the reality, but it is the reality. I agree that it became very expensive for folks. But Disney's going to have to do something with the view. Going to have to do something with the view. On another note, Tampon Tim, better known as Tim Waltz. He waltzes like a little girl around with dangling tampons from his earlobes and the like, saying that the taxpayers need to bail out Minnesota because we went in and broke it. We went in and arrested the pedophiles. We went in and arrested murderers and thugs, gangs. And he wants us to pay him money for the corruption that bestows that state, from the attorney general all the way to the governor and the mayor, all into corruption. And he wants us to throw money into his bottomless pit. Sorry, Tampon Tim, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it, Tampon Tim. No, we're not. Sadly for him, and sadly for the country, there's a lot of corruption around, from California to New York to Boston to Rhode Island, where I live, to all the blue states. All the blue states are all failing. All failing. There is not one successful blue state. And why is that? Because Democrats are ruining it for everybody. Literally and figuratively. Ruining it for everybody. And we need to make it our business, folks, to get into those midterms and to turn it into a moment where we send another message to the Democrat Party, liberals, and the like. That we're going to yell out at the top of our lungs in that voting booth. We're not going to take it anymore. And we're going to vote these suckers out. Because we can't have it going on like this anymore, folks. We can't. We need to take control of our future. The Democrat Party has literally and figuratively destroyed this country. Every time they hear good news, economy, jobs market, and the like is doing good, they're screaming at the top of their lungs with hate. Why is that, folks? Why is that? You know why it is, folks? Because their life is full of hate. Full of hate. Now, wanted to start. For you folks who want to buy something, you highlight this little button. It could put video. I always like to promote things that are good. It's all my artwork. I don't know if you can see it. See my artwork? Every 3 seconds it changes. I got a lot of Valentine's art there for you folks. You want to look at it's Annie something. I'll link you to that later. But before I forget, I will save my promotional for last, and please download Upside. I see a lot of you have. You could show it in the app. Use my promo code 6MMJUU and download an app that will save you money at the gas tank, at the gas pump. Save you money, make you money every time you spend something. Of course, if it's sponsored, that's where you make it. You go in the app, you look, and actually the app will say, hey, you're in this place ordering some food. You could get a percentage back. Click on this, and you go there. And 2 days later, you get a percentage, maybe 7, 10, 20% back of the bill. Up to 40 cents back on gas per gallon. And it shows up 2 days later, and it accumulates. And when it gets to a certain amount, whatever you want, you cash out. Put it in your debit account, PayPal, gift card, Amazon, and the like, and earn and put it in your accounts. And you never get charged a fee for that. All for your hard work of spending money you do every day. You get free money back. You never get charged a fee, an app that pays you to do so. Now remember, folks, it is a Valentine's Day today. I kind of dressed the pot. A lot of red. That's what I wanted to do. Remember, folks, get out there and become patriotic activists without hurting, harming, screaming at people, burning down buildings. Your activism takes you all the way to the voting booth and vote these clowns out. We don't believe in violence, and I don't. Only time I believe in violence is when we're going to war or to defend ourselves because somebody wants to kill us. That's the only time. Other than that, I'm not an offensive person. I am a defensive person. The only place I'm offensive is in politics. I don't suffer your foolishness. Have a great day, folks. And remember, today is a day of love. And the Democrats' Valentine's Day is a day of hate. And to threaten people's lives. And to live in the Epstein world where they're the guilty ones and Donald Trump now is the hero. Have a nice day, folks.